What's talked about a lot in these kinds of situations is the timing here, and I want to bring in Kurt Knutsson on this because I'm going to play a soundbite. This is Harvey Levin of TMZ, and he was talking about the Bitcoin wallet, right? Remember that one of the ransom letters, the first ransom letter that was sent to TMZ, it was also sent to a couple of the affiliates here in the Tucson area, but the ransom letter had the Bitcoin purse, for lack of a better term, had the Bitcoin purse. They wanted this $6 million sent to this. So at CNN Harvey Levin was on CNN, and he was asked about the Bitcoin, and he said there was some activity. He said the following.
So about 12 minutes ago, we saw activity in that account.
Activity like what?
That's what I can't talk about. There are reasons I can't, but all I can say is there is now activity in that Bitcoin account.
Okay, now let me just ask one more question, and you'll share with me what you can. But when you say activity, is that you can see money is going into the account, or are you able to tell whether it's money going in or going out?
Well, it would only show, as I understand this, money going in. And the only thing you would see is money. And Aaron, that's all I can say.
So there you have it. I mean, Kurt, you've got money going into this. And I'm wondering about the timing here because we first ran that soundbite during Sean Hannity's hour. And it was talking about, the purse and, making sure that we were right about who was actually in this person. I'm wondering if you can give us any guidance because it wasn't long after that conversation between Harvey Levin and the word got out from a local affiliate here that it was actually $300 in that Bitcoin purse. Is there a connection? Does the FBI, was that something they picked up on that might have led them to this person who is now detained, Kurt?
Hey, Trace, yeah, we can evolve this story again. We're talking about what could just be a warm-up to the wallet on Bitcoin. And that's when you really just put in a small amount from the exchange to find out, okay, is this active? Is it working? Okay, yeah, our deposit's received. It could be a precursor to a larger amount. It could also be as simple as somebody also just screwing with us. And in fact, if Bitcoin is so public and these accounts are so public that it's more or less anybody can access them and establish money into a wallet. So with regard to that, what we're going to look for is a much more sizable amount, but this activity or this warm-up means something, and you keep your eye on this because there is a process to Bitcoin that we have our eye on, that investigators have their eyes on, that you want to be aware of.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody is kind of looking at here, Kurt. You're right. I mean, we talked earlier today because I was fascinated by the video, right? The video was what opened the door for all of this. And just to kind of take our viewers through this, we remember yesterday afternoon, we were kind of getting ready to do our show. We were putting our rundown together, and I was wondering, okay, so what do you think? What is the real big news today in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance? And then seconds later, you had Savannah Guthrie come out, and she was asking people for public help. She wanted the public's help. It was the first time. She had been talking pretty much directly to those people who sent the ransom notes earlier, and now she was asking the public's help, and it was kind of baffling, like, why is she looking for the public's help? And then today, the video was released, and the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff started asking for the public's help, and the public helped. They did their job. And I was asking you, why did it take 10 days, 9 days plus, Kurt, to get this video from whatever cloud it was in to actually to the point where we saw it today viewed? And the answer was fascinating. And what was the answer?
Well, the question on everybody's mind is about that. So you and I might have a camera that records video and it saves it on a card or up on the cloud, as we've talked about. But in this particular case, we know that this was a Nest video doorbell camera. And oftentimes, in many cases, local information is stored on devices that we own that we don't even know about. We may, for example, have an app tied to our doorbell that we say, tell us when someone's there or when there's motion. Well, that doesn't mean the device itself isn't recording a whole lot more of that. So what investigators have been able to do is follow the trail on this. And the way that looks is, Trace, they're going to first, it's going to be the FBI. The FBI is going to search, get a warrant. They're going to go in this case to Google because Google is the one that acquired Nest. So this camera, they think, might have something on it, and they were right. So what happens is these teams get together once they're past that legal hurdle. There's some time we just lost, and now they're working together. And I don't mean they're just trying to download something from it. It's about recreating data. It's about trying to decipher zeros and ones, and it takes a mountain of time and a lot of very skillful work to bring that together. So, for example, in this case, there is a possibility, and I've further investigated since you and I talked earlier today. Now, some Nest cameras, when they are disabled, will hold on to about the last hour of video that was on it. Now, so that means that if this suspect was actually successful at disabling that camera, and I don't have the answer to that, but if he was successful at disabling that camera, then he just created some incriminating evidence against this crime, because that means that may have said, okay, this is the last hour of recording, and then when police and other investigators got their hands on that one, including the sheriff, they were able to then activate it back to a cloud account, because we've heard that the doorbell was not on a cloud subscription, right? So what some Nest cameras will do when you establish it back to the subscription is it will give you that last hour of video that it saw. And whether that's what investigators have on this tonight that we're seeing, or if it's this pieced together incredible forensic work, it's one or the other. And it's extraordinary that we have it. And this is going to lead us somewhere.
It is a huge piece of the puzzle. I wanted to bring in this work because FBI John Nance was talking about what it was like to work with Google. It's call for number 6. Greg, play this.
Thank God for the Trump administration and Kash Patel's reprioritization and revamping of the FBI's priorities. We're seeing tremendous work being done by the FBI. And this is a case in point. Going to Google and actually reconstructing this video footage is a tremendous bit of forensic work.
And I'm wondering, Kurt, if you believe, as many others do, might there be more video that is available that could paint a better picture for us of what happened on the porch that night?
So I don't know if there's more length of video, but what I can tell you is AI now plays an enormous role for investigators. So what we're seeing now may be a low resolution idea of what they're releasing. What they're able to do with AI over time is enhance this video, and I don't mean add anything to it, but simply make it better and better and better, to where that focus on the eyes, that focus on the detail of the fabric, that focus on the brand of backpack becomes crystal clear. And we're starting to be able to see some things that AI is unleashing that we would have never as humans. I don't care how smart we are. I don't care how many of us are working on it. AI can do so much more with regard to making images incredibly crystal clear.
Yeah, I want to play a little flashback, and I'm going to kind of get your take on this, because we were told, remember, that it was when that camera at 12 minutes after 2 o'clock in the morning on February 1st, it caught a glimpse of something. We were first told it might have been an animal, and it was kind of walked back. But we had the sheriff, Sheriff Nanos, here in Pima County. He was talking about, this is on last Thursday, he was talking about that they actually ran out of technology to recover video. Here's what he said.
2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription. That's what our analysis teams have told us. The tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Well, the FBI found some ways. I mean, Kurt, the FBI found some good ways to work with Google, and here we are.
When you have the FBI on your side and they have this kind of energy going into the focus of resolving this case, this is what works. And they have incredible tools that can make this come together unlike other things we've seen before, period.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.